Hello and welcome to another episode of Virtual City Hall School. Edmonton really cares about its history, and I think that's probably why we were the first city in Canada to have a historian laureate. Every 2 years, a new historian laureate is picked for our city, and their role is to help us connect and have a deeper understanding of the history of our city. I'm proud to introduce to you our fifth historian laureate, Amber Paquette.
Hi there. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And now I'm going to also introduce our student reporter, Munu Pashi.
Hello.
And I'll turn the interview over to her.
Thank you so much, Amber, for speaking with me today. It's such an honor to talk to the Historian Laureate of Edmonton. Let's get started. I heard you just got selected as Edmonton's Historian Laureate. What was your reaction when you first got the news?
It was definite joy. It's a definite honor as well. Much pride to be able to represent my family history and also Edmonton's history.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I really worked for Edmonton. What other background do you bring to the role?
I'm coming from a Métis Cree First Nations background, so I'm hoping to shed a little more light on Edmonton's very unique and deep history that goes back many thousands of years, and even to more contemporary times, stuff we're more familiar with, like the fur trade and things a little more recent.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you most look forward to in your new role?
I look really forward to just connecting with Edmontonians and connecting deeper together as a kind of a shared collaborative experience, and kind of discovering Edmonton's history together. That's what I'm really looking forward to the most.
That's great. What challenges do you think you might face?
Well, I have some unique challenges, I think, as being the first historian laureate coming from a First Nations and Métis background, and the youngest historian laureate as well, of course. Just in terms of having challenges of bringing forth perhaps lesser known narratives and lesser spoken narratives in Edmonton's history, and finding ways to make those fun and engaging. But looking forward to the challenge.
That's great. What did you want to be when you were my age? And were you interested in history then?
When I was your age, the furthest thing I was interested in was history. I wanted to be an artist, and I still am, actually. I still am an artist. So being a historian is a surprise in my life, and something I definitely would never change, though.
My next question for you is, what is your favorite historical site in Edmonton and why?
Oh, my favorite historical site. That's a tough one. I would have to say it's Strathcona Science Park. And that's my favorite because of all the recently very just cool stories I've heard about Strathcona Science Park. And that is an archaeological site that used to be in use in the 1980s, where children your age in school groups and guests could go and watch archaeologists dig up real artifacts, some 5,000 years old, and throw real atlatls and tan moose hides. And it unfortunately was all lost to something called the Black Friday tornado of July 31st. So that is one of my favorite sites, and it is, unfortunately, there's not very much indication of it today, but it's a very unique place.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What brings you joy during this time of isolation?
What brings me most joy is definitely history as always, and gardening as well. I love to be out and gardening. It's springtime, so this is all giving a lot of gardeners a lot of extra time on their hands to get things planted and spread a little extra love into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My last question for you is, How do you think we might document this historic time of isolation that we're living in right now?
Sorry, I didn't get to hear that one too well. You mind repeating it?
Oh, yeah, of course. How do you think we might document this historic time of isolation that we're living in right now?
I just sharing our personal stories, sharing our stories and our experiences, and writing them down, talking to each other. Even getting in front of a camera or a microphone like we're doing right now. Just every little thing, any little thing that we personally feel is important is history.
That's really inspiring. Thank you so
Mm.
much, Amber, for speaking with me today. I really enjoyed this interview.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here. Hi.
Thank you both for that interview. I wanted to tell students about a really great book that we have. It's called Kidmonton, True Stories of River City Kids. So this is an amazing book that's written through the lives, the words, the eyes of actual children that lived in Edmonton, from Indigenous children to settlers up until the modern time. So my challenge for you today is to write a chapter in the Kidmonton book. Follow Amber's advice of just writing down what's happening today, what's happening in your community, what type of activities are you doing. Maybe the story that you're writing today, the chapter that you're writing today, is going to be read by someone in the future. They'll look back on that and be more aware of the history of our community. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, Amber.
Thank you so much. Ekosimaka.